Hello and welcome everyone. So glad you're here today. I thought I'd try a little bit of a different intro and just kind of talk to you for a little bit. So I recently did an unboxing on my channel in which I did the biggest kit of the year from Love From Lizi. And it was just chocked full of so much goodness. I've made several cards with that kit already, several of which will air on Lizi's channel, I think next month. But anyway, I thought I would just pull the kit out. I can show you the cards that I've already made, and I thought we'd make some cards today. So let's get started. Okay, so before we get started, I thought I would show you the cards that I've already made with the super kit from Love From Lizi. Now, if you didn't see that unboxing, I will link it in the video above so that you can check it out. But here's one card that I made. And if you recall, I'll bring in this little piece. There's a lot of fun specialty pieces in here. The pearls. We've got some embellishments, some little rosettes, and I've used all the doilies now. But we also have this little container full of little flowers and bits and stuff. So I used that on this particular card here. I used the die set and some of the specialty paper for the window and then added the little rosette on that one. Just beautiful background paper. There's tons of ephemera. There's actually 2 packs of ephemera. Not going to show you all the stuff right now on this video because we did do the unboxing that you can check out, but fun. You can see there's just a little bit of purple on that particular flower there, and I thought that was pretty. So I made that card, and then I had made this card as well. And what I did was I just took and used, I regularly, I thought I pulled one to show you. I'll get the centers of my papers, and I had one that I had taken an oval out of my cardstock. And I just took and used it as a mask. And I laid it down and I just ink blended with some spun sugar and some, can't remember the other, and some tumbled glass. And I just ink blended a circle on there. And then I took the stamp set from this and I actually then just stamped on it. I used this image here and stamped right on it. And really pretty. Looks like my tape might have messed up my cardstock a little bit, but we can put something on that or fix it. But anyways, really pretty card. Then I also took just some of the ephemera and another one of the doilies, and I made this card here and just kind of layered up some of the ephemera. And these are some of the embellishments that are in there, and they live happily ever after. The end is one of the stamp sentiments that we have here, and created that. So this one here is actually the challenge layout card for September, and so this is using one of Lizi's die sets and creating a challenge card. Now, if you don't have the die, you can still participate in the challenge. Sorry, I got my head turned. You probably can't hear me. Anyway, but you can still participate in the challenge. You can just kind of mimic this somehow with whatever you've got in your stash. But this essentially is the layout with these layers like that, and then the circle in the center, and I use that. And that, I love that dark green cardstock from Lizi. I really need to get some more, but I like it so well. Anyway, so that's the challenge for the month, this card. You have a chance to win a prize if you submit to the challenge. I'll try to remember to link the blog in the description box below, so if you want to participate in that and have a chance to win, that would be awesome. And then for this one we had, I actually took the vellum from last month's kit that had its own adhesive on it. That's why this kind of looks, kind of like this, is because it has its own adhesive on there. And I stamped it with this particular stamp here, and then added with Heartfelt Sympathy, and just added a couple gems to it. And it's really pretty. I used that green cardstock again. Now I wanted to use some of the foiling because this kit did include the foiling this time. And I'm trying to make sure I'm not getting out of frame. Sometimes I get out of frame. And I used some of the foiling, and I foiled this. This was one of the foilables that was included in the kit, stamped with Heartfelt Sympathy, layered up. I also used the corner punch on this card. This was included in the kit as well, so that was kind of an extra nice thing. And then one of the embellishments that was included in the kit as well, and created that one. And then this one was really kind of fun. I had never worked with these window bubbles, and there were, I don't know, 5 in the kit. I used 3 on this one. And basically, I used this background pattern paper, layered it with some pink, and I corner rounded. I brought in some of the pill-off strips. I stamped the single rose from the stamp set, and if flowers were If friends were flowers, I'd pick you. And then I took some of that patterned paper and I just cut a floral area out and put it behind there and laid it down on there. So these are basically clear. So you can just simply take, and I don't have any cardstock right here in front of me. You can just take something and, you know, put underneath there and kind of create a scene and then just trim around it. And that's what I did with those. So those are fun. Those are something you don't normally see in kits, or would you even think to work with on your cards. But I think it's super fun. And that was a kind of a fun idea there. So those are the cards that I made for Lizi's channel and the challenge, and I think my unboxing video is what I did. I'm gonna put this on top just to keep this nice because there's quite a bit of dimension in this one, and so if I were gonna give it, I want to put it in a box or perhaps lay it on top of the gift or something like that because there's a lot of dimension going on there. So I do have some layouts planned, and so I think we'll just get started on that and we'll get going. With those cards that I did for the Love From Lizi channel, I really tried to touch a lot of elements that are in the kit, you know, just to have a real well-rounded view. These little gold charms are really super cute too. So for this card, I'm going to bring in some of the specialty paper that's included in the kit. And I actually had this piece of Love From Lizi specialty cardstock in my stash, and it matched beautifully with the rose, so I thought I'd bring it in and use it. You certainly can feel free to mix and match different things that you have within the kit and, you know, add to it. You can make a bunch of cards from this kit. I'm telling you, it is just chock full. There are 2 bags of ephemera, and with that, you have the opportunity to just make a whole bunch of cards. And it is beautiful. It's very lovely. And so I would encourage you to check out the kit. Hopefully they still have some available. I haven't checked the shop, but anyway, I'm going to go ahead, and I know some of my viewers were excited to see what I would make with this. And I'm going to lay this down first, and that way if I need to trim off a little bit off the edge, I can do that. I don't know. It might layer up just fine, but I may need to trim. So we'll just put a little bit of glue on here and get it laid down on our specialty cardstock. And this is going to be kind of a simple card here. We're just going to have a little edge. Just get that laid down on there. Let's see. I suppose we could trim off just a smidge. Right there. And maybe a smidge right here. I don't know if you even notice it. All right, we're going to leave that alone. Don't want to cut into my pattern paper. So we've got the matte finished gold cardstock that was included in the kit. I am going to bring in my trimmer because I can just see a little bitty spot there that's going to bother me. So I'm just going to bring it in and we'll just give it a little trim. Let's go ahead and do the bottom while we're at it. There we go. All right, just a couple hairs we took off of there, but I just wanted to get that out of my sight. So we'll get this laid down on there, and I think it's just beautiful. This pattern paper is just lovely. So we've got some simple cards. I did do some foiling as well, kind of off camera. Try not to get too much glue in here because I don't want it to show through my specialty paper. So we'll get this laid down on there. And this is just a simple card. I mean, this is using some scraps of the pattern paper, and I love to do that. I love to use it. So, and for this one, I'm just going to pop it up and just bring in some more of the floral elements, kind of keeping it very simple. And let's see. Trying to grab some foam tape here really quickly, and we'll just pop this up a little bit. I'm telling you, Lizi has the most interesting things in her kits. I mean, you know, if this doesn't prove it to you, I mean, there really are some very, very interesting things in here. For this one, I actually was thinking about maybe even tucking some of this in there because we've got that leafy pattern there, and we have these, and I think it could look pretty kind of behind our little element here. So if we bring this in with our foam tape, and I think we can probably get it laid down on there, and then we would have that sticking behind there, and I think that would be a really pretty element, and bringing in some of that unusual floral that is included in the kit. This one's a little bit folded over. I think I'll just snip it off. We'll just snip that off where it's folded. Lay this down. I feel like I could use something else with it as well. So let's see. Yeah, let's go ahead and snip a little bit of this off. Wait a minute, I've got one here that is already snipped. Yeah, let's add that. And then what we'll do, I've got my ephemera stuck to my glass mat now. What we'll do is we'll make sure we get some of that double-sided tape stuck down on there, and then that'll help it to, there we go, I want it to go that way. That'll help it to adhere, and we won't have to worry about it falling off. But I just think that's really super pretty, and it can just be behind our ephemera and just add a little extra interest to our card. So isn't that fun? Can't see as much of that other down there, but I think it's fine. And I think it's real pretty. So this could just be a simple note card that you could, you know, give to someone or put something on the inside or whatever. And I think that's really very pretty. So I'm not going to put a sentiment on this one, and we're going to just move on. So we'll lay that aside. Let me get some of this stuff out of my way here. And we may pull some of that in. So anyway, so that's our first card. So let's go on to our second card. I did mention that I did some foiling. And so I brought in some of my own foil for this one because I had in my head that I wanted to use the specialty cardstock on top of this pink. And I thought I could have used gold, but I thought I just wanted to keep it kind of monochromatic and just go with it like this. So we're just going to get this laid down. I do want to, before I get going, I want to go ahead and stamp a sentiment on here and use our stamp set. So I'm going to bring in my Misty real quick and we'll get that set up. So let's go ahead and get this stamped on here, and then we'll be ready to build our card. So there's so many nice ones. Knowing you as a gift, with heartfelt sympathy, happy birthday to you, always thinking about you, so thoroughly grateful for you. I think I'm going to use so thoroughly grateful for you. It's a nice small sentiment, and I think it'll work on here very nicely. And so I'm just going to get it laid down on there and see, do I like that? I need to straighten it up a little bit. And then I'm just going to get it stamped on there. And we're going to be really careful with our inking and just kind of lightly touch it. I'd rather stamp it a couple times than to be too heavy-handed and kind of mess it up. So we'll just give it a little press. Take a peek. That looks really good, so we're going to go with that. Now, I've got another one that I have foiled as well, and since I have my Misty out, I think I'll go ahead and get it ready, and then we'll come back to it. So I'm going to take this stamp off, and I've got another one that I have foiled with the gold sparkle foil that was included in the kit, and we're gonna have it as well. And so I'm going to use the Sending All My Love and Well Wishes on this one. And we're going to stamp it on this side here. And we're just going to kind of do the same thing. I want to look and make sure it's lined up nicely. There we go. Now that one didn't want to stick, so I'm going to have to get it stuck back down in there. And we'll just lightly ink it up. Hopefully we didn't get too heavy-handed with the ink there. Give it a little push. I mean, I'm just gently pushing, and that's good enough. I don't want to risk doing it again and messing it up, so we're going to go with that. Okay, so I'm learning my lesson about my when I'm stamping, that my fingers get inky, and if I don't take care of it, I am going to have a mess. So that's what I did. So I'm thinking, why don't we go ahead and use the corner rounder on this one, and that way we can just bring it in since it was included in the kit. We'll have another corner rounded card, and we're just going to snap these off and just round them. And then that'll be nice. We'll have that. And we'll go ahead and do the same thing with our foiled panel, and just go ahead and get the corners rounded. So I'm having a little bit of, I must not have cut it evenly or whatever because it's not wanting to round. But we'll get there. So we have got our specialty cardstock here, and I'm going to get it laid down on here. I don't want to forget to bring in some of the extra little bits and pieces that are included as well. So I'll try to keep that in mind as we're working through this. You know, just like we brought in some of the flower elements on the other card there. Now this one, I'm not sure that I will do that. I think I'm going to pop this up on that. So I'm just going to bring in some foam strips, and we'll do that. Get my sticky scissors. So I don't know if you guys like foiling or have a laminator or whatever, but there are components of that included in the kit. And if you don't, Lizi has also included a glue pen that you can use to foil with. And I think that she probably did an example of how to use it on her channel. I think I saw her do that. So you can check out her channel for that. But there is a glue pen. I think I have it right here. And it's got the Love From Lizi logo on it right there. And it's just got, it's a little pen that has glue in it. And then you can, you know, put some ink down or some glue down and lay your foil down, give it a good press, and then pull it off, I believe. And you'll have your panels foiled. If you don't have a, you know, a laminator or ink or, you know, fuse machine or whatever, you can do that. So I'm just going to get this one laid down on here. And I think it's really pretty, that foiling. Like I said, I brought in some pink foiling from my stash just to add to that because I thought it would be really, really pretty. And so I think this, you know, is a very clean and simple card, and it says, "So thoroughly grateful to you." I think it's lovely. I don't think now there are some, let me just show you the gems that are in here. We certainly could add some if we want to. We've kind of got this orangey one here. That one would actually look very pretty on that particular card there if we wanted to add it. So I think I might just add that. There's no sense in keeping it in my stash when I've got a card that'll look great with. So we'll just add that right there, and that'll give an embellishment to that. And then these pink ones could look lovely on this particular card here. We've also got some white ones if we wanted to keep it kind of simple or whatever. But we could certainly add these, and I think it would be really pretty. Now they have a pretty good amount of dimension. Here is a leaf from the die set. I'm going to put it in here so I don't lose it. But we could certainly add those for some dimension. Let's go ahead and do that. I'm hesitant because I like kind of the clean and simple look, but I've got these materials and they're in the kit, and so I should use them, make good use of them, and not hoard them. So I'm trying to decide how I want to do it, if I want to do another one. They're kind of large. Oh, it's a little bit closer than I wanted it. We'll move it over a little bit. Just give them some time to dry. Really pretty, very pretty. I think we could put another one down here and just have our three. There's a little tiny spot there that I'm seeing that I could cover up. So we'll just go ahead and add that there. And then we've got our card. So using the embellishments. And then we have these white ones as well. So I'll get these out of the way and we'll just move on. I've got two more cards. I put 4 together, and I thought we would just have a variety and try to showcase some different things. So what have I got here? I've already got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'll have 11 cards by the time I've made this one, and could still make easy 11 more. The kit is just so full. So I've got this other one that we just stamped, the sending all my love and well wishes. I've got it set up. We've got the gold, it's like a matte finish, and I'm going to lay it down for my background panel, and we'll get it laid down on our card base. And of course, these are all A2 size card bases that I'm using, which is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. I have some new card makers that are following my channel, so I try to want to try and share that information. I know, you know, some of you that are more seasoned card makers are well aware of what that is, but I just want to share that with those that are new to card making. Okay, and we're just going to have a little, just a little trimmed edge around there, and then I'm going to bring in this matte teal colored cardstock from Love From Lizi. I love the mattes. She's got a lot of mattes. She's got some glitter ones as well, but I really like these matte finished ones. And I'm just going to get it laid down on here as well and just try and create a frame, a nice little frame on both sides around. And then I've got my foiled piece that we've already stamped, and we'll get it laid down on here. And I mean, you can make some quick cards. I mean, we've put these together pretty quickly. Now, it did take me a minute to, you know, figure out what I was going to do and get it all laid out and everything, but I think it's really pretty. So that was very lovely as well. And I think I'm going to leave it well enough alone because I think it looks fine. Just as it is. We've got our sentiment on there. Just cleaning up a little mess down there. And I think it's really pretty. So I took the foilable paper that was in there and used the glitter foil that was included in the kit. You can see the sparkles, and it turned out really pretty. And then with the gold, we're not showing much of that beautiful pattern paper, but I think it looks nice. Okay, so I've got one more, and I've got it planned out, and we're going to use some of this pattern paper here that is, you know, part of that, and it's just beautiful. So we're just going to layer it up on our card base. And like I said, I'm keeping it real simple, but I'm coming up with some gorgeous cards that I think showcase the kit very nicely. So we'll get this laid down on there, and then we're going to bring this panel in. I believe this is 3 3/4 by 5. This one is 4 by 5 1/4, and of course we're on an A2 size card base. So we'll get this laid down on here, push it up just a little bit. There we go. And isn't that lovely? I mean, just like that, add a sentiment to it and you've got a great card. But I've got another panel that matches that I've just taken a die from my stash and die cut out. And I'm gonna use it to create just a kind of a backdrop for this, because if I didn't have that, I would just lose my flower, my ephemera on there, and you wouldn't notice it. And so I'm going to add it to my card base, and then we're going to lay that flower down there. And I think we'll bring in some more of the goodies from the package that were included in the kit and kind of stick them behind there for some extra interest. So we'll just pick something out of here that we haven't used. I haven't used any of this. That's quite interesting. I don't know if I can get that to lay down well enough on there. Wow, that's really cool. I'm not sure how to make that work with our, maybe just like that. I think that would be really pretty. All right, let's do that. It's kind of wild, it's kind of wonky, but it is in the kit and it's lots of fun. So for this, I'm going to bring in a strip of double-sided tape. Have I got that straight on there? Looks like it could be. Oh, once I get the flower on there, you won't notice anyway, but I've got some double-sided tape here, and I'm going to put a nice little strip on there to kind of help hold that down. And then we'll put our ephemera on some foam tape and pop it up, and I think that'll help. But I think if I put this down, I can get this to adhere very nicely. So I'm going to get it down there like that. And you see it's going to stay on there. I think I'm going to bring in another strip and put it on this side here and just lay this down on top of it. That'll just kind of help keep everything in place, and we won't have to worry about anything kind of running wild on it. And then for this, then we're going to need some we're gonna need some pretty good foam tape on the back of this to get it to stay. I may have to double up. So let's just double it up. And that way it will stick nicely. And we're going to kind of go around that stem as much as we can. Okay, and then we're just going to give it a good press, and we'll tuck that around there. I might need a little, I'm going to double up a piece and put it behind that flower, the bloom there, and make sure we have it adhered nicely. And there we go. Isn't that fun? Some really fun elements. So I also could have probably, I might have even been able to stick this down in there and added some extra interest to it. Probably could have, you know, even kind of tucked that in. Let's just do that. I think that's fun. We'll just tuck that in there. And it's super, super pretty. So we've made 4 cards today. You know, we started out with this one and added our little piece of fern there. Then we've got our pink one, you know, 2 foiled, and then 2 with the ephemera, and then the 7 other cards that I showed you on the start of the video. So I've got, you know, 11 cards made, and I still have tons of material left that I can work with and create more cards. So I hope you enjoyed this. Thanks for watching, and have a great day. Take care. See you soon. Bye-bye.